Oh, go open up the box in the kitchen. Tranont stuff, the stuff for your.
All right. I'm just gonna
Got it.
everybody.
Oh shit, Paul, motherfucker.
Getting off with a bang, the foul language. I just muted you, Dar, so Dave can swear away. It's all good. Okay, well, welcome everyone. Everybody here knows me. Usually I start off by saying my name is Benny Martin, but you guys know who I am. But I'm very excited because we have some exciting people who are coming to share with us tonight. I'm gonna get Rita to start it off and share, why you wanted people to jump on tonight, and maybe just do a little introduction of people. And then I'm gonna introduce a very special friend of mine who's jumped on to join us tonight.
Look at Dar, like an infomercial, like literally an infomercial while you're talking.
But I'm having my dinner and I'm eating noodles, and so I really, I need these to eat my noodles.
I swear that wasn't planned. Sorry, Benny, what did you want me to share?
I wanted you to share why you're excited to have people on tonight. Maybe introduce who is on the call, and maybe share. I'll get you to share more later about your experience. Yeah. Maybe just overall what your experience has been thus far using the products, because that's why we're here.
I mean, Gloria and Danielle both. I've shared with both of them individually some of the stuff, but I just want people to honestly if it was just for the collagen. It's kind of like when you tell people to do Landmark Forum, just do Landmark Forum so you can do the seminars. Just come to this call so you can take the collagen, because it's made such an unbelievable difference for me. And I've been taking powdered collagen for like 6 or 7 years, and nothing has had the impact that the liquid collagen has had. And I have to tell you, I am like the least, what do you want to call it? Like the last person who wants to sell shit to people. Like, honestly, like that's like, it's really not my jam, but this is like the collagen alone. And then the Optimize, I started taking the Optimize about 6 weeks after I started taking the collagen, and my hot flashes went away and my insomnia went away. And I like literally sleep through the night every night now. And it's actually, also done wonders for like all the body aches and the anxiety that I get during my hormonal time. And so, yeah, that was my primary, like, I just want everyone to take the collagen, just take the collagen. I swear to God. But yeah, so that's as much as I know. So like, I don't even know a lot about the products yet. I've only taken those two. So yeah. And Danielle and Gloria, I've known for many, many years, and I know some of their ailments, and I know some of the things that, those are the conversations we have on the phone now is, did you sleep? No. How are your hormones? Oh, this part aches. And because we're there now, right, at that stage in life, I guess. And so, yeah, I just want what I have noticed, what I have been feeling since I started taking those two things. I just want that for everybody.
Awesome. And just Danielle or Gloria, do either of you want to share some of the health stuff that you've been dealing with that you'd love to find solutions to? I'm going to introduce her in a second, but Jen Laurie is on, and she is just amazing in the holistic space. So if you do want to introduce yourself or share anything, yeah, feel free.
Do you want to go, Danielle? I can go first. So, yeah, I first off would like to stop having those conversations with Rita. Yeah, so I'm definitely menopausal, so I've got a lot of those symptoms, but for me it's mostly muscle joint problem issues and fatigue, like not enough energy. So those are probably my two big ones. Yeah, and, like stress burnout stuff. That's kind of where I'm at.
I'm Danielle, and I'm turning 50 in January, and so super deep into the perimenopause. And I also have long COVID, which they're finding now is affecting more women in their 40s and 50s, more than any other group. And apparently one of the things it can do is accelerate the symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. So that's definitely what's happening. So brain fog, anxiety, memory loss, sleeplessness. Yeah, good times.
Good times. Well, thank you for sharing, you guys. I mean, I know you guys quite well, so yeah, thanks for being here.
You're turning 50 in January, Daniel?
Yeah.
How fun.
It's a big year. And then I just want to shout back to Rita for a second. Rita, first of all, I adore you. I know you have been on a journey of leveling up in your life. I've been a witness to it. I have just been in awe of you. So I wasn't surprised when you wanted to take on some supplements, but also I'm not surprised the results you're having because I had the same. And for those of you who know me, I left my previous company to come here, which is a big deal for me because I fell in love with the products. So I'm going to introduce someone who is very special. Her name is Jen Laurie. She's tuning in from Edmonton, Alberta. I have known Jen for 8 years. She was actually one of my biggest inspirations in becoming an entrepreneur. I actually saw her speak on stage the very first year I went to a conference for business, and she has 4 kids. She was able to retire her husband. She is a heart-led leader. She was actually on stage receiving the Caring and Sharing Award, which is the biggest award in our previous company. And I was just in awe of her. So I actually called her up and I was like, I love how you lead. I want to learn from you. And so now we're in a new company together. She also has, I believe it's 4 or 6 certifications in the holistic space. She is an ingredient guru. Trent and I have had the privilege of getting to know her better in this last kind of 9 months. Her and Mark, we've traveled to Mexico together and we just got back from base camp, and both her and Mark are just extraordinary humans. So Jen, I'm going to get you to kind of introduce the company and our transparency promise and share a little bit more why you fell in love with products.
Oh, thank you, Benny. You got a little tear in my eye. You did it. I have, yes, like Benny said, we have been working together. We weren't on the same team in our prior company, but we've been able to partner in this journey, and it's been amazing. Benny is such an inspiring leader, not just in business, but in life. She wants more. She wants to grow. She's open to learning, and she wants to bring people with her. And I don't know if you guys know, but that is a huge, huge asset in a leader, is someone who wants to raise others and someone who takes more value in helping people grow than she doesn't even think about her own growth, which is incredible. And so you guys are super lucky to know her as well as you do. So I hope you guys know that. And I mean, she's also a super inspiring mom and outdoor enthusiast. I am so jealous of the ability to go outdoors all year round being from Edmonton. I'm like, Betty, I'm moving over there. So anyways, I'm going to start us off by sharing about Tranont. So Benny's going to just put some slides up here for us to see, and I'm going to go through them here. So we're talking about Tranont. You guys have been hearing about Tranont already, so I'm not gonna go into detail about that, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what attracted me to Tranont. So one of my biggest missions, my own personal mission and purpose, is to impact people's lives positively. And this is the same mission of these 3 owners that they've created within our company. So we actually have, our mission statement is to impact 1 billion lives in the first 30 years of business. And I think like that is a huge goal that I want to be aligned with, because I don't know if you've had the opportunity to impact people's lives positively, but it feels really good to help people grow and to help people feel good. And so that has been a huge inspiration for me to being here. When I learned the culture of the company, when I learned about the mission of the company, and though, like Benny said, I'm an ingredient nerd. She just said it in a nicer way. And so she knows me, and I don't put anything in or on my body without reading a label first. I have worked very, very hard to create health within my body, my family's body. Like she said, I have 4 holistic nutrition certifications, and I would never want to go back to where I was with feeling all the pains and stuff. And though I have really impacted my life through food, I had lost a bunch of weight. I had really rebalanced a lot of systems in my body, but there was a bigger picture that still needed to be addressed, because I don't know if you guys know this, but our world's a little bit toxic right now. Right? Between the high stress, between the environment toxins, and between our food, even if we eat super good, we're just not accessing the food nutrients that our body needs, because it just doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. So let's flip to the next slide here, Benny. So here at Tranont, like the 3 pillars of Tranont are health, wealth, and community. And health is, I mean, we don't have wealth in our life without health, and we don't have health in our life without wealth, because let's face it, it takes finances to be healthy. We have to be able to afford food. We have to be able to afford supplements. We have to have balance in our life, right? And then I also believe that community, without community, we just are not in a healthy space. We need friends, we need family, we need our community. And we have this really incredible pillar of community where we have an initiative called Lift Where You Live. And it's all about making everywhere you go a better place than the way you found it. And so it's not any one specific initiative. It's about us being encouraged to go out and make a difference in the world. And Benny and I have had the opportunity to not just create that in our own communities, but we've also got to experience it with the Tranont community. So we've had a couple of experiences now, because anytime we gather, there is a Lift Where You Live component to it. So I love that. Anyways, let's go to the next slide here. Let's talk about the product's ingredients. So I actually have a really weird certification that isn't readily acknowledged, and not a lot of people have it, but I actually have a certification in therapeutic supplementation. And so I have been reading labels of supplements for years and years and years. And when I got my hands on the ingredient list for these products, my jaw literally hit the floor, because I had never seen such clean formulations, B, I had never seen formulations that were put together so smartly. I knew that the bioavailability of the nutrients inside the products were going to be more accessible to the body. And then when that was coupled with learning about some of the testimonies that people were experiencing, I was like, wow, I need to have my own product experience. And so I was suffering with a back injury, and I was in incredible pain, and no therapies were relieving the pain. I had a little bit of relief, it would come back. And I'm talking about like not being able to load a dishwasher without like balancing myself off the counter. And I'm in shape. I am, I'm healthy. I eat well, and I was still having these problems. And I've known about collagen for years. I was actually taking a high quality powder collagen. You already heard Rita's story. You probably heard that a few times. So I won't go into detail on the powder collagen, but I knew that reading this formulation, it was going to be more impactful. And I'm telling you, in 5 days, I was 100% pain-free, had full range of motion back. I actually had, I had lost all range of motion in my hips. So I couldn't like squat. I had to just like bend and do this weird like crouchy thing to get down to the floor. And So I gained back full range of motion. I was doing weights at the gym again, and I was able to do all that pain-free, which was huge for me. And so that blew my mind. So I started sharing with a few other people because I'm a total skeptic. And when other people were having the same results and more than me, I was like, I need to partner with this company. So as you can see here, we have a huge, tremendous commitment to quality. There's zero synthetics used in the products. It's all natural ingredients. So if you don't know what that means, so 97% of the supplements on the market have synthetics in them. And you just don't get the same impact when a nutrient is coming from a lab-derived isolate of the actual version, because it's not chemically the same. It is close to the same, but it's not the same, and the body doesn't recognize it and is unable to utilize it as such. And so our supplements come from food sources, so the body recognizes it and is able to use it. But not only that, our supplements have an enzymatic formula, so your body can actually break it down and absorb the micronutrients from it. So just very, very smart. As you can see, this is how smart the ingredients are. Benny's going to tell you more about the individual product. She is so great at sharing it. She's been so absolutely phenomenal at, like, she just has dived right in and taken all the learning. She's absorbing all this information, and she's really great at sharing it. So I'm going to let Benny share about the products. But thank you, Benny, for inviting me on tonight just to share a little bit about my perspective of the products and how I got started, and being able to share my story. And Beth, I can't wait to hear from you again tonight. I love your story. So yeah, so anyways, I just want you guys to know how amazing Benny is, and she is so great to work with. And I really hope that you take advantage of that and are able to jump on with Rita and take advantage of that opportunity, because leadership like that doesn't come around all the time.
Thank you, Jen. And I've been blessed to learn so much from Jen, as well as, just my time here in the company. Jen's also my holistic nutritionist, so we go way back. So we're going to dive right into some of the products, because I know that's kind of why we're all here. If you guys have any questions, save them for the end. We can always ask Jen if we have any sort of more technical questions, but I just love listening and learning to all those things. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the products individually. We have a bunch of different categories, but we're going to focus on some of our favorites. We're going to start with the collagen, because I know that that's my favorite product, Rita's favorite product. So it was actually, I was just thinking about this the other day. Gloria, Rita, we were out for dinner, and I don't know if you guys remember, but the words just came out of my mouth, and I said, I think I'm looking for something more. Do you remember that, Gloria, that dinner? So it was about a week later that I had the collagen in my hands, and I had no idea what my experience was going to be. So I was actually on a powdered collagen. I tried about 5 different powdered collagens over 2 years. And I had really bad hip pain that would just come in and out from activities. But the bigger one for me that had been impacting me for about 8 years was my plantar fasciitis. And I tried everything, every modality, the scraping, the insoles, the shoes. And that was the very first thing I noticed. So I'd had 3 friends talk to me about the collagen. And then one of my friends said it helped with my rosacea and my plantar fasciitis. And that's when I perked up. So I started the Glow Collagen last August. And within about a week, my plantar fasciitis was disappearing. And I thought, maybe I'm just having a really good week. And then I tried everything after that. Cowboy boots, hills, all the things. It has now been a year, and I have not had a single bout of plantar fasciitis, which for 8 years, it would come and go. And it was extremely painful and had me not hike at times, walk at times, and was very frustrating. The second thing I noticed was it was a hip injury from jazzercise in my late 20s. I had just given up on it. And I know a lot of my friends were starting to get hip surgeries, and I was starting to get concerned that this is where I was going to be going quite soon. But I have also not had any hip pain in about a year. So all the activities that would normally aggravate it just really don't. The next thing I noticed with the collagen was my hair. I had been struggling to grow it, and Rita and I for a while during the pandemic would go back and forth with TikToks about different oils, argan oil, Jamaican oil. I was doing this rice concentrate at one point and putting it in my hair. And so the next thing I noticed was just my hair growth, but also that my hair was starting to, like from hormones, fall out in the shower. So I get like a clump of hair every time I showered, and I don't get that anymore. So those are a few of the initial things that I started to notice about the collagen. And then about 3 months in, most of you know that I had breast reduction surgery. The surgeon said I probably had about 10% chance of ever getting feeling back in my chest. And I was in the shower about 3 months into the collagen, and it felt like hail. Like I could feel it. And I was not expecting that. So collagen is like the scaffolding of our bodies, our bone matrix, our connective tissue, our gut lining, our joints. So a few things that make this collagen unique. And then I'm going to get one of my friends who I first shared the collagen with to come on and share her experience. So this is a liquid collagen. It's a type 1 collagen. Why that's important is our bodies are made of type 1 collagen. So that's what we need to supplement with. It's also a liquid and hydrolyzed. So that means it's going to be a higher absorption. It has 11 grams of collagen peptides, and Jen's broken this down. And if you compare to some of the other liquid collagens out there, you would have to consume so much more of the other collagen because this is really concentrated. It has 10 grams of protein per serving. And then it has a proprietary formula. It has a hyaluronic acid, which is going to help with your skin. Actually, one of the things I notice every time I come on with Jen is her skin looks better and better as she goes. It has a clinical dose of biotin. So a lot of buzzwords out there are biotin and collagen. Clinical dose is 4,500 mcgs. Most have less than 500. And then the hyaluronic acid is also like WD-40 for your joints. Then one of the things that is unique about this one, Jen was mentioning synthetics. So you guys kind of all know the vitamin C that we all have in our medicine cabinets. If you look at the back, it'll say ascorbic acid. So that's the easiest way to find if a supplement has synthetics in it. And this one has an antioxidant formula. It's actually about 4 to 5 servings of fruits and veggies, but it's all from real whole foods. So things like African gooseberry, green tea extract, and then all of our other supplements are all from those raw whole foods. So those are a few of the things that set this one apart. I know when I started using it, I was like, why does this one just work so well? So it just has a different formulation, different ingredients, and it actually has 7 patents. So the collagen is also medical grade. It came from a burn hospital in the US, so really high quality. But what really got me was just all the people that it was helping. So I'm going to get my friend Beth to come on. She uses a few of the products, but she was actually the first person I shared about the collagen. We were actually on a coaching call, and she was in a lot of pain. And I just said, I don't know if this is going to help you, but it's really helped me. Beth, are you there? And would you be able to just share your experience?
Just had to get my system off mute. Yeah. So, I've known Benny for a long time, and a year ago I was talking to her, and like she said, that she came to me and said, I think this product would help, and boy, has it ever made a difference. So I am 58 years old now. I have had fibromyalgia since I was in my 20s. I was diagnosed in my early 30s. I also have, comes along with that various other, lots of pain, low energy, all kinds of other issues, depression, you name it, I had it. And then add to that the fact that I also started to develop arthritis. So by my mid 50s, my knees were in such bad shape that I was having a hard time maneuvering. I never really thought that one of the most valuable things I'd get after my father passed away was his cane, because all of a sudden I needed it. And I was told a little over a year ago that I needed a knee replacement for my left knee, and that my right knee was probably about a year to 2 years behind that. So by a year ago now, I was in so much pain. I couldn't stand outside for any length of time while, with my grandkids while they were playing, without trying to find somewhere to sit down. I couldn't do any gardening. I am also a compulsive knitter, crafter, painter, artist, whatever, if it's something artistic and crafty, I've probably tried to do it. But one of the problems that I had, I also used to own a yarn store, which tells you how much I knit, was that my thumb joints here were starting to cause me problems with arthritis. And boy, when you can't walk and then all of a sudden you also can't do one of the things that has been like your mainstay of what keeps you happy for your life, things really go downhill quickly, because I literally couldn't knit more than about 2 or 3 rows before I'd have to put my knitting down because I was in so much pain, and that was killing me. So about a year ago, I was at a point where I went to put out some recycling. It was a lovely day and I wanted to get some gardening done. I thought I'll go put the recycling out. I did 3 trips up and down my driveway with my recycling. And by the time I was done that, I was in so much pain, I had to go inside and sit down. So no gardening for me today. I couldn't function. And that's when I really got to the point of thinking, like, I'm only 57. At that point, I was only 57. How am I going to live going forward? I can barely walk up and down my house without needing my cane. I can't do normal everyday tasks without having to go inside and sit down. I don't know what to do. Like, I was so at my wit's end. And it was a couple of weeks later that Betty called me and said, I think I might have something that might help you. I had never heard of collagen before. I mean, I've tried various other supplements, the glucosamine and the turmeric and the, all these various things. And of course, you look in the back on the packaging of most of those and they say, well, it may take up to 2 to 3 months for this to give you some kind of result. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll keep trying it, but like, I don't know if it's working. And she said, she told me about collagen and about the Tranont products. And I thought, okay, well, I'm desperate. I will try anything. And if this works, then I will be shouting it from the rooftops. So I started with 3 products. I started with the Glow, and then 2 other products, Enrich and Optimize, which is a natural anti-inflammatory property to it. And yes, there it is. Thanks, Dar. In about 4 days, and of course, I'm naturally very skeptical. I was like, is this really gonna do that much? Well, we'll see, whatever. Within 4 days, I got up in the morning and I'm like, I don't feel as stiff as I normally feel. That's interesting. And then about couple of days later, so it was about a week after I started taking it, my daughter and I were out, and she turns to me and she says, Mom, you're walking like a normal person again. You're not doing that, hip shuffle that you do when you can't bend your knees properly. And I'm like, well, yeah, my knees feel a whole lot better. And it just got better from there. I could not believe the difference it made. Yes, I do still sometimes wear the braces on my thumbs when I knit too much, but I can knit again. I can walk again. I'm able to move and maneuver without necessarily needing the cane. Now, I had my first of my 2 knee surgeries 4 months ago today, actually. And I'm really pleased with how well I'm recovering. I mean, obviously I'd like my recovery better, but I talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, it took me a year and a half. It took me a year. So I'm like, you know what? I'm doing pretty well with where I'm at right now, because I don't have to use the cane all the time. I know if I'm going to be walking or standing for a long time, I take it. When I go out, I take it. But I can go and do the small things that you need to do that are really difficult to do when you're walking with a cane and function. And that's one of the big things, because I was at the point where I could not function. I have of course, I've since started using a whole lot of other products. One of the other ones that Benny's probably going to mention is Mojo and Zest, which has helped. I basically have replaced coffee with Mojo, because coffee used to give me that crash and Mojo doesn't. I have a much better level of energy. And those have also, I think, helped my mental health. And I think a lot of things have helped that. One is I'm not in pain all the time, which helps my mental health. When you're in pain, you get depressed very quickly. I mean, who wants to live in constant pain? And I've been living in constant pain for 30 years. So I mean, I cannot say enough good things about the products and what they have done for me, because it's huge. And my family has noticed, everyone around me's noticed. My skin looks better. My hair is fabulous. I mean, I know I've got it kind of pulled up right now because it's warm and I'm menopausal, so I don't like things on the back of my neck. But you know, my hair is long and gorgeous, and I love it. My daughter bugs me about my mermaid hair.
Awesome.
And you know, basically, I can't say enough good things because it has completely changed my life.
Thank you, Beth. And I have to tell you guys that I've known Beth a long time, and I saw her a couple months after she was on the products, and it was like seeing her younger cousin. She was like jumping up and down, and to be honest, mostly as well, your mood, you were so much happier. And so thank you, because you were actually one of my inspirations to change companies, because just seeing the difference that the products were making.
Huge difference for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna have to go because it's that time of night. And I think Dar, you mentioned your grandkids lived with you. Well, my grandkids and my daughter and my grandkids live with us, so it's time for me to go and read them story. So
Okay, thank
I
you.
have to do the grandmother thing for a while, so
Okay.
I will sign off. But thank you guys for letting me talk.
Awesome. I just wanted Beth to come on and share, because she has such a great kind of testimony and story to the collagen. So that is the collagen. We could literally talk about it all night long because I love it, but I want to go on to a few other products, and we're going to just do it briefly. She touched upon the Optimize, and this is one of my new favorite products. It is a proteolytic enzyme. So, Beth was mentioning that she had arthritis. This is like a natural anti-inflammatory. It is like a Pac-Man for the rogue protein in your body. So this can help with all sorts of things. I'll show you a picture of my friend Leah. She was in a car accident 5 days after using the Optimize, and she was no longer having any pain from that accident. This one's amazing. People actually give this to their dogs as well, and they've gone from not being able to jump up on the couch or chase puppies around. So I had a couple team members get it okayed by their vet. So how cool is it that they're natural properties? This you can also take after a workout. And our friend Janice says that she takes it after a workout. And you know, if you haven't worked out for a while and you get that really soreness, she doesn't get that anymore. So I just did a boot camp this morning and I took some after because I have not worked out all summer long. So this is the Optimize. I know Rita loves this one as well. This one's great. So it was actually developed for pro athletes to get them on the field quicker after an injury, but works just as well for people trying to get back to life quicker as well. So that is the Optimize. The next one I want to talk about is the Enrich, which is why Dar is on to share her quick testimony. I'll just tell you what it is. And then I'm actually going to do a little science experiment, and I'm going to get Dar to just do a super short and sweet testimony of the first day she had it, because the impact really happened quickly. So this is the second product that came into our house because of Trent, who has heartburn. My joke is that he would reach for Tums as dessert. Like he would just get up every night and grab the Tums. So this is a full spectrum digestive enzyme. It also has a stabilized pre and probiotic in it. So everything gut health. So as we know, there's the gut brain axis. The gut is responsible for our immune system, our hormone health, as well as digestion. So this is going to help you actually absorb the nutrients from what you're eating, fully eliminate things, and then help with your gut. So I'm going to show you how it works on a pudding pack. This is chocolate. Let's pretend it's chocolate cake. So you need digestive enzyme to process any cooked or processed foods. So as we get older, Same with the collagen. Actually, we stop producing as much collagen as we age. And I actually, sorry, this is a back step, but I learned recently that when you're in menopause, your collagen levels take a huge hit. So similar to collagen, our digestive enzymes, some people aren't born with as many. And then some of us just have genetics. So my son, as you guys know, Mav had bowel surgery when he was 4 months old. So I give him the Optimize. It really helps him. So you can see this is very solid. And we're going to put
You give him the Optimize or the Enrich?
oh, sorry, the Enrich. Did I say Optimize?
You did say Optimize. Just wanted to, for the recording, let's get that straight. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Dar. Okay. This is the Enrich going in here. So this is all plant-based, which I love. I've also heard of people giving this to dogs who get into garbage because it will help them. I love all the things you learn from team members. So we're going to give this a little stir. And digestion is the cornerstone of health. So I have had so many friends start the Enrich and have some pretty amazing things happen. For Trent, it was about a week in and we were eating steak, which is a trigger food. And he did not get up from the table after. And I looked at him and I said, have you had heartburn this week? And he said, no. So, and he actually had a boys' night last night and he forgot his Enrich and he was feeling it. So Dar, do you want to share, you were on another digestive enzyme, you tried this one, your experience, just short and sweet?
Sure. I took the other digestive enzyme because I had a reaction to something that I'd been dealing with for 10 years and it did work, but it was a little strong, I think, because even in the night I would still have heartburn. So, so I listened to Trent and then one night I was like, oh, damn it. Okay, I'll take it. And then Benny's like, I'll leave it out on the doorstep. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming by. No, I'm not coming by. I was like so resistant. Anyways, I went and got it. I took it. And that night I didn't have heartburn. And I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. So, but you know, like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I took it the next night and I didn't have heartburn. And I thought, okay. And I took it for probably all 7 days. And I never had heartburn. Like I would sometimes get up in the middle of the night and need to stand up and I put my arms up and, you know, like, cause it was just burning in my throat and it didn't happen for all these 7 days. And I was like, okay, now I got to put this thing to the test. I got to try some stuff. So I tried, I think it was beans and I got a little bit of heartburn and I lay down and I'm like, oh, this is it. I'm a goner. And nope, no heartburn. It was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And then the other thing, what was the other thing I did, Benny? Was it meat? I'm not supposed to eat beef, so I don't do the collagen yet because I'm working with the Enrich to hopefully it'll make it work. So I will be able to take the beef collagen, right? So I think I did eat beef because I'm not supposed to eat beef. And I got a little bit of heartburn, but not much. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. So anyways, I don't go anywhere without this now. Benny saw me at the barbecue. I have a little container, says Enrich. I take it with me. I really love this stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Made a difference. And of course you can sleep better, right? When you, now I just have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So maybe you got something for that, Benny.
We'll talk later.
Good.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I just love the whole thing because Dar was like texting me about it. I was like, yeah, give it a go. So a few other things that I love about the Enrich, for those of you who know me, I have not been able to tolerate gluten since my 20s. I can now eat pizza with Mav. And similar to Dar, I actually put it to the test the other night and I did not have my Enrich with pizza and it was like not good. One of our friends, Jen, she could not do dairy and she started taking the Enrich. And after about a month, she can now have dairy. So sometimes it's more of a gut issue than anything else. And then just two other quick things that were kind of surprising with the gut brain access. My one friend, Erica, started it in December and she has had migraines since she was a teenager and she knew she wanted to work on her gut. So most of us have gut issues just from what we've been exposed to. And also just the process of aging. So she has not had a migraine since she started on the Enrich, and she has had 3 to 13 migraines a month. And doctors have tried absolutely everything. She's tried natural, she's tried pharmaceuticals. lots of different things. And then my friend Chantel, and a few other friends of ours who have had low iron, once they started taking the Enrich, because they could actually break down the nutrients of their food, their iron levels are going way up. So the Enrich can do wonderful things. I'm going to just show you guys how this works. So remember, this was a pudding. It is now like chocolate milk. So you can just see, I love that you can see.
How many minutes was that, Benny? How many minutes? That was like barely any minutes.
While we were talking. So a few minutes. So you want to take the Enrich 1 to 2 before your meals so that it can break down and coat your gut, so that when you eat, you're going to fully, and it's not going to come out like this. Beth didn't mention this. I'm sure she won't mind me saying that she suffers from IBS and she no longer does using the Enrich. And then we also have friends that were on the opposite ends of the spectrum, so constipated, and they now are fully eliminating, which a little TMI, but that happens to me when I travel and I take the Enrich and I feel so much better. So that is the Enrich. I wanted to just go over quickly the Mojo Zest as well as the Focus.
And can I tell you one thing? Because I just got my vitamin C.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know it was a drink. So it's actually a drink. So I mixed it up and it's delicious. It's really delicious. So I'm super thrilled about that. Like, I love Zest too. Zest is one of my faves. The roasted peach. Yeah, that's my, love it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So the Fortify is the vitamin C she's talking about, and that actually comes from acerola cherries, which is one of the highest sources of vitamin C, and all from whole raw foods. So the Zest and the Mojo, this is a nootropic. So when I discovered the collagen, one of my good friends was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited they have nootropics. So nootropics help with 3 things. They're going to help with your energy, they're going to help with your mood, and they're also going to help with your metabolism and fat burners. So I have switched from coffee, which, if you know me, I loved my coffee before, to there's a Brazilian coffee. There's also a chocolate. And then Dar was talking about the Zest, which comes in roasted peach or vanilla lavender. And this really helps with mood, with clarity. The biggest one for me was energy. I would always get those crashes in the afternoon. And once I started on these products, I did feel like 20 years younger in terms of energy level. One of my friends, Michelle, who I was just talking to a couple days ago, her daughter was not able to get her prescription anxiety medication anymore because the doctor was no longer going to prescribe it. And she was throwing up every day before she went to work. Her anxiety was that bad. And she switched to Zest and Focus. And she has not had a single, she hasn't been sick before work, and her anxiety is so much better. So the other one that I was talking about there was the Focus, and this is lion's mane mushroom and B vitamins. So oftentimes when we're deficient in something, it can really affect our bodies. So this one here is the Focus. For those of you who know me, you also know Maverick's dad, Adam. And I maybe 2 months ago, and I think this is what Rita actually reached out. I gave him the Zest and the Focus, and within 1 day, he was sending me a selfie with smiling, and his coworkers have noticed a huge difference. And he doesn't have a lot of money, but he makes sure that he has both of these at all times. So he's been able to lower his ADHD medication, and his depression is way better than it ever has been. And obviously I've known him a very long time. So I love that these products are helping so many of my loved ones. And it all started with me taking the collagen. The other one I'll just touch upon is the Renew. This is a high antioxidant vitamin E. It is amazing for hormone health. We have a scientific advisory board, and one of the doctors, he discovered this. It comes from an annatto tree. So it's 50 times more potent than other vitamin E's, can be really good for hormone health, can be really good for inflammation, balancing blood sugars, as well as lowering cholesterol. So I know Rita has been taking this one as well. So there's a book, it's called The Truth of Vitamin E. It's amazing. It's Dr. Barry Tan. and he talks all about the power of vitamin E. So those are a few of the products that we wanted to touch upon tonight. Rita, did we miss any of them that you're taking?
No, but
Okay.
Gloria has a question about the
Yeah.
enzymes.
Yes.
She turned her camera off though. I don't know if she's still there.
I know I'm here. It's
Yeah.
just my camera went wonky, so I didn't want to make
Yeah.
everyone dizzy. The enrich, it
Yeah.
has pre and post or pre-post
Pre and probiotics.
biotics in it. Aren't those supposed to be like live cultures where they're in the fridge?
Jen, are you still on, and would you answer this question? She might not be on. She has a great explanation for this. So,
Yes, I am on. I can, but I'm multitasking, so you got to repeat the question for me.
the question is with the enrich, the pre and probiotics. She was just saying most of the time they're refrigerated. Are you able to answer that?
Yeah, so these are stabilized probiotics. So the type of strains they are encapsulated in a cell wall that allows them to stay intact and alive through the digestive system. So that particular strain actually makes it to your small intestine because your stomach acid is not going to kill it. So if you think about, let's just compare for a minute. If you think about probiotics that need to be in the refrigerator, they need to be in the refrigerator to what? Keep them alive.
Yeah.
So what happens the second we put it in our body at not refrigerator temperature?
They die.
Most of them die, which is why we have to take a million billion strains of it in order to get any result at all. So this allows us to be more effective with the amounts we're taking because it actually makes it through our digestive system and lands in that small intestine where it can do its magic.
Okay, great. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Jen is much more eloquent at explaining that. I've heard her say it before, and I was like, "Ooh, I could tell you," but Jen will tell you best. And a little hack on that digestive enzyme as well is if you forget, or if I've not proudly, but eaten a sandwich too fast and had indigestion, if you break the capsule over your tongue, it's going to work instantly. It is magic. So I keep it in the car, in my purse. We also take it wherever we go. Any other questions about anything? Okay, so I'm going to pull up some slides because I have some before and after photos.
I think I saw Danielle say she has a question,
Yeah.
but she's muted.
You got to tell her how to unmute or ask her to unmute.
She knows how to unmute. She's just,
Oh, I did it. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a million questions. Okay, so I could benefit from all of those things. So do you guys like take all of them?
So I take quite a few products, but I think everybody's process is different. So Beth started out with collagen, optimize, and enrich. I started out, I'll be honest, I just started with the collagen and I had results. And then I came to a talk and I was like you, I was like, well, now I want this and I want this and I want this. So I then kind of chose what I wanted to add in. I know Rita's process is she likes to start one at a time so that she knows what is affecting what. So I think it just depends on how you want to do it. So the three that I started with was the collagen, the mojo, and the enrich, because those are the three that I kind of called to me to start. And now I take the focus and the renew and the optimize. Actually, the optimize is one of my new favorites. So I think it just depends on what your focus is, and that's what I would start on. So
Well, how do you know what's doing what?
well, I started with the collagen first, and
Yeah.
different things do different things, right? So if you're starting the collagen and you're noticing a difference in your menopause symptoms and your joints, things like that, that's from the collagen. If you're taking something for more mood and focus, like the mojo and the focus, those ones are going to be more up here. So I've now started taking the focus, and I have noticed a direct correlation with how much I get done in the afternoon. I was having a kind of lazy day the other day, and I took my focus with my lunch, and I like started cleaning my house and doing a bunch of different things. So that one, I noticed a difference, but they do different things, if that makes sense. The enrich is all about gut health. So if you take it and then you're noticing that you're not feeling bloated and that you're able to process foods, as well as everybody's body is different. So some people will notice something, within a few days, a few weeks. Everybody's very different. So it's good to be, I love Rita, because you would call me like every week and you're like, oh my gosh, the eczema on the back of my neck is now gone. Oh my gosh, I just slept through the night. Oh my gosh, my hot flashes aren't as bad. And she would just call me and share what was opening up for her. I say the collagen is the gift that keeps on giving. So Candace couldn't come on tonight. She's one of my good friends, and she swears by it with her menopause. I'm not quite there yet, so that's not something that I've noticed with it. But I take the Renew for my hormones, and Trent has noticed a difference. That's all.
Oh.
Benny, I'm just going to and add one thing here, because on the topic of using the products, you're going to see an impact with all products, but they're actually formulated to work synergistically together, which means it's just going to be added result, added result, added result with every addition of another product.
Jen described it like a fruit salad. So because they're all whole raw foods, it's like, you're going to add the banana and the cherries and the different things. So they all work synergistically together like that as well.
You had a question, Danielle?
My naturopath just advised that I started hormone replacement therapy. And so should I be doing this at the same time, or wait to see how the HRT works and then?
I personally am not a fan of hormone therapy because it doesn't resolve the cause of the symptoms.
What does?
Another Band-Aid type approach.
I'm having trouble hearing you, Jen.
Yeah.
Your microphone is covered, Jen.
I'm sorry. The reason why I'm not a fan of hormone therapy for most people, because most people, the cause of the symptoms is not a hormone replacement problem. It's a nutrient deficiency problem. And when we have the nutrient deficiencies are corrected, the body goes back into balance naturally. And so the flow of hormones is the problem, and the blockage of the hormone flow is the problem, because every nutrient pathway or every function of our body requires a nutrient pathway. And if those functions are not happening properly, it's most of the time, 95% of the time, because there's a nutrient block. There's something not being, there's not enough of it, or it's being blocked by something. And so if we can correct the deficiencies, the body will balance out. So I was just having this conversation with someone earlier. Menopause is like, we're all going to go through menopause at some point in time. It's unavoidable. The symptoms are completely avoidable, because the symptoms is our body saying we're deficient, because during menopause, the processes that are going through our body require a heavier load of nutrients. And if we're not getting those nutrients, it's going to be difficult. Now, anyone over 40 has a compromised digestive system. So those enrich helps us get more from our food, but our food doesn't have everything we need either to operate optimally. So that's why I would go for trying this first to correct some deficiencies in the body, to see how the body responds to it before going to hormone therapy. And if hormone therapy is needed, you will know. Because if this doesn't correct the problem, then you know that you need that. But very few people actually need hormone therapy if the nutrient deficiencies are addressed.
And so the problem with going hormone therapy is there can be side effects. And so it's like, hey, let's risk benefit analysis. Let's take 30, 60 days, see if we can get the nutrients up and get the balance back in the body, see how the body responds to that. Many people I've worked with, the symptoms were corrected and they no longer, the conversation of hormone therapy disappeared because they weren't struggling with the things they were struggling with, which led them to go to a naturopath or another practitioner to get help with the hormones.
And Jen, would you recommend collagen and renew?
Collagen renew with enrich because you got to correct the digestive problems. And then renew is huge for hormone health.
Which one would speak best for anxiety?
Anxiety would be Zest or Mojo, depending on what flavor profile you prefer.
I know that Danielle you don't normally do caffeine, right, Danielle?
Yeah, so that'd be my next question. When you mentioned the green tea, like and all the really great vitamins that I've found or understood that I found, they almost always have green tea because of all the great properties, but it affects my sleep.
Okay. I have people who said that they couldn't have caffeine because of that and don't have a problem with the Zest and Mojo because the delivery system is different. So the delivery system when you consume Mojo or Zest is a slow release, which is very different than it jolting your body. So
and what about the green tea and the collagen?
Well, it's an extract for antioxidant purposes. There's no caffeine in the collagen.
Most people take the collagen in the evening, but I know Rita takes hers in the morning. So
I didn't like it at night. And Danielle, I can't do any sort of caffeine either, or green tea or anything, and it hasn't bothered me at all.
Okay.
In the collagen.
So
yeah.
the green tea in the collagen is not caffeinated.
Yeah, it's not caffeine, but there's something about green tea in general that's quite stimulating for me, for sure.
Okay.
And I would probably start with collagen in the morning rather than
Yeah, it could be taken at morning or night. That's fine.
As long as it's consistent. I like taking at night because I sleep like a log with my collagen. And then the other one I was thinking of for you, Danielle, was the Focus with the lion's mane mushroom and the B vitamin for the anxiety. The other thing with that vitamin E is it's all about cell renewal. So there's a man named Dan who I was chatting with who had long haul COVID symptoms, and he was able to go back to work after a few months by using the products. He noticed a huge difference, and one of the ones that he took was the Renew.
Rita, how come you didn't like taking it at night?
I don't know. Actually, it's funny that you asked that because Benny had said take it at night. So I took it right before I went to bed. And I don't know, it was like it was making me cranky or something. And then I mentioned it to Benny. I said, I don't like it at night. She said, well, take it in the morning. I just assumed I couldn't do that. As soon as I started taking it in the morning, I don't know what happened, but suddenly it was like the lights got switched on or something. And
everybody's different.
It hasn't been a problem since.
Probably had nothing to do with the collagen. She was
probably not, but I take the Optimize at night, but I take the collagen. I have a pretty good supplement routine that I have in the morning and at night, so I never miss it. But yeah, I can't explain it. It just did not work for me.
I just want to mention
I have a friend from my school. I have a friend from my school that same thing. She started taking the collagen at night, did not like it, switched to days. Suddenly she loves it. So I don't know.
I just want to mention one thing specifically for you, Danielle, because it has to do with long COVID. So there's a lot of evidence to show that people who are struggling with long COVID, there's a connection with the imbalance of insulin. And insulin is the master hormone that controls a lot of things like sleep, hormones, female hormones specifically. And it also influences our weight, our ability to lose weight, because our fat burning hormones can actually be turned off. And the reason why I said zest for you is because there's a component in there, and mojo. Right now I'm on a zest kick, so I'm saying zest, but it could be mojo. It has a mineral formulation in there that helps to regulate and balance the insulin hormone. And so that is like, if we say it's a weight, like it helps with weight management, it's because of the influence on the insulin hormone that it does that.
And I can always give you an example of the zest, Danielle, so you can give it a try.
Okay.
Sense that you said that, Jen, because I've been losing weight and I'm like, well, I'm not taking anything to lose weight, so this doesn't make any sense, right?
It turns on your fat burning hormone.
And I'm eating noodles, and I love noodles.
Yeah, it gets your, like, because it's not that it's turning on your fat burning hormones, it's just your insulin is no longer turning off your fat burning hormones.
Right. Yeah. Excellent. Good to know.
Awesome questions, you guys. I'm going to just share a few photos, but feel free to ask questions. And you guys, we can jump on a call another time as well if you have any more. But I want to show you photos because they make such a difference when you don't always see the difference. But when you take photos and are self-aware, then sometimes amazing things can happen. So here is Jen. When you guys want to remember what I said every time I see her, like look at the difference in her face and her eyelids. This is collagen. This is my hair. My hair has never grown like this ever. It has grown more this year than it did in like 3 years. And then this is Candace, who couldn't come on tonight, but her rosacea has diminished, and she also swears by it for menopause. This is my friend Krista from Port Alberni, and she started with the collagen and the Renew, and she has a lot of skin issues that have cleared up. Her hairline has started coming back and she feels fantastic. Also the Enrich. She started on the Renew, the collagen, and the Enrich. This here is Grace, but very similar to my hair, and she was experiencing that hair loss in the shower. Cellulite. This is my friend Lori, and she has experienced, this was collagen loading, where she was taking extra doses just for a month to get her collagen levels up. She was doing it for her gut, but she took pictures of everything because that's what they said to do. And she noticed that the cellulite is reducing in her this is Leslie. She was like one of my second friends who started the collagen. And her varicose veins went subdermal after about a month. And she called me in tears and she's like, I can't find them. And I'm like, what? She's like, my veins. The reason why it's emotional for her is it runs in her family to get surgery, which is painful. And so she just noticed a huge difference. This is Beth, who we saw tonight. Just see a difference in her face. And then this is Tina, who was inspired by Beth, who was also on lists for surgery, and I actually just saw her in Edmonton with Jen, and she's no longer using her cane and her brace. And you guys, that was from December to February. So this is Leah, Optimize testimony, and that was all for the before and afters. So a few things, Danielle, I mean, I know it's a different situation, but I've had friends as well who have been recommended, getting injections for their iron, who said, you know what, just give me a month and I'm going to try. And she tried the Enrich and went back and her levels went up. So it's totally dependent on everyone. But for me, I always like to try whatever I can before going down more intervention type route. And we can talk more about what can work for you. So there's a couple ways you can get your hands on the products. Rita has a link and you can order as a customer or an associate. I'm actually going to pull this back up for a quick second, and it just shows the difference. So you guys know me, I have been in business now. So I personally feel like if ever you can get some extra revenue streams, go for it. So you imagine the collagen, just like Rita, who loves it. You can give out your link to anyone and you can earn commissions off that. So imagine every time you referred your favorite Netflix or sushi restaurant to someone and you got a kickback. That's similar to this business model. That's the short side of things. So it's essentially a distribution chain.
Does it also, Benny, does that also give you the subscription and save, or can you do that anyways?
You can subscribe and save for anyone. So when you subscribe, it's 10% off. When you get more than 5 products, you get 10% off. Or sorry, when you get more than 5 products, it's 8% off. So that's a total of 18%. You can unsubscribe at any time. It's super easy. It's a click of a button. You don't have to call in. You don't get sent everything every month. So I always tell people do subscription and then just pause it and change your order, or you can pause it for however you want. When you do order as an associate, you get the bundles. So a discounted price. I started on the silver pack, which comes with the Enrich, the collagen, and the Mojo, as well as the Boost, which is a nitric oxide, really good for energy. If I could do it all over again, I'd get the platinum so that I could try all the products. But there really is something for everyone. So those are the 2 ways of ordering. One, you get a link that you can pass out if you love the products and earn commission. The other way, you're just a customer. So those are the 2 different ways. And, you know, as I said before, you know, I wouldn't have changed companies after 7 years if I didn't like truly love and fall in love with these products. And thank you, Dar, for coming on. Thank you, Beth. I know she had to jump on, and thank you, Jen, for coming on. But most of all, thank you, Rita, for bringing us all together. I know truly you just want to make a difference for people. And I know for me, like, I'm just like, I walk around now with a filter of like someone sharing something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think we could help you, because that's what it's all about, really, is just humans sharing what's working and seeing if we can get everybody feeling their best.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize that Optimize was anti-inflammatory, but it makes sense now, because usually I'd wake up in the morning and my fingers would be puffy, like my hands. And I've been noticing now the last month or so, I'm waking up, my hands aren't puffy. And I just thought, oh, I guess I am losing some weight or something. Maybe that's what's going on. But as soon as I heard that makes sense, because my fingers I've always had like sausage fingers in the morning. And now I just don't. So
the Optimize, to remind you guys, I'm a visual person. It is like Pac-Man on the rogue protein in your body. So you want to take the Optimize with no food, and it literally is going through cleaning up your blood. So I was in Utah a couple weeks ago. I walked so much, my calves were burning. I woke up, I took 3 Optimize before bed. I woke up and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be walking upstairs today. And I was completely fine. And that one as well, Leah, who was taking it for pain and inflammation. She also skipped allergy season, which we've used this Optimize on Trent as well to help his allergies. And and she used to get migraines, and those have gone away too. So I love that, you know, synergistically other things start happening to your body. So when you come on these calls and you hear of things, I know my friend was on the other day and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize my plantar fasciitis was gone. She was taking the collagen for surgery and then didn't even realize, because sometimes you don't realize when pains start going away, right? But you sure notice when they come back. So yeah. And I still to this.
Hi, Joni.
Hi, Joni.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no.
Hi, Joni.
I was just going to say that still to this day, like, I cannot believe that I don't have hip pain, because it was just a daily thing for me. And you kind of take it for granted when you start feeling good. Any other questions? I know this has been a long one, but you guys had really, really good questions.
I feel like Gloria has a question.
Well, Maverick might be coming to say goodnight to you all.
Gloria, you have to unmute.
Oh, okay.
What?
She said she doesn't have a question. I can read lips.
Oh, okay. I thought she was going to say something.
Okay, well, we will log off for tonight. If anyone has more specific questions, you can reach out to me or Rita. Jen is an awesome resource, but we have a lot of awesome resources. We have people on our team who are massage therapists, who are holistic nutritionists. We have a bunch of them, nurses, all kind of walks of life. So it's pretty awesome. Anything else you want to share, Rita?
I'm so happy that you guys are on the call. Just to see your faces even. But let me know, Danielle, if you need the link, and I'll send it to you. And Benny, I need to pick up that renew.
I know.
I forgot.
I'm up in Cobble Hill. And
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
of you who are in Victoria, if you order and then you want to start something right away, let me know, because I have a few bottles extra that I have on hand at all times. So
Oh, there is one thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
Benny. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, that's fine. Go for it.
And I also wanted to say I'm so glad Jody was able to join, even if it was a little bit late, but I'm glad she's here.
Thank
And what I would say is, if you are going to try the collagen, get 2 bottles, because you may not be able to know what's going on for the first bottle. Like, it's a month, right? Each bottle is about a month. You might not know. I didn't notice until like 4 weeks in, when I really started to notice that the eczema in my ear was completely gone, that I've had for years and years, and the eczema on the back of my neck. Like, it took me about that long to notice. So that's what I always tell people, is get at least 2 bottles.
Joni, do you have a question? I see a raised
Yeah, I do. Hi,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hi, Joni.
Hi. I just wanted to ask if any of your products help with gray hair.
No, not the grayness. But I actually have a friend who's on the collagen who her friends are like, what hair products did you change? And she has curly hair. And she's like, honestly, the collagen has just tightened her curls. So we can't help with that. And you have beautiful hair.
Thanks, I'm just teasing. But I did hear quite a bit, and it sounds pretty dang interesting. I'll be talking to Rita about ordering something.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put the map to bed here in a minute. If you guys need anything, reach out. I'm here. And thanks everybody for coming, and thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you
Benny.
guys. Bye.
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 Nice to see you guys. Beautiful
You too.
faces.
Bye, guys.
Bye.